This is Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun. And if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. Hey, hey, hey.
It was a split decision for Jonathan today.
Jonathan, how are you feeling today?
Jonathan appeared to smile, but did not answer our question as he arrived holding his girlfriend Megan Good's hand. His mom and his sister there to support him at court today.
Are you confident you'll be proven innocent?
Facing 4 charges total, the jury did decide he was innocent of 1 count of assault and 1 count of harassment. However, they did find him guilty of another count of harassment and another one of assault. Deliberations began after 3 weeks of testimony. Jonathan's then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, accused him of assaulting her in the backseat of a car back in March. Jurors were shown this surveillance video from that night. Prosecutors said it showed Majors manhandling Jabari, while the defense argued he was running away from her because she started the attack. Prosecutors also showed an injury to Grace's ear and video of officers finding her inside the closet at the apartment she shared with Majors after he called 911 that night. Jabari had taken the stand during the trial. Majors had not. Jonathan's Hollywood star had been on the rise. He broke out as Kang the Conqueror.
You thought you could win.
And he was hand-chosen by Michael B. Jordan to co-star opposite him in Creed 3.
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
But that was before his arrest in March. The fallout from the allegations was swift. An Emmy nominee just 2 years ago for Lovecraft Country.
I'm doing this to protect us.
Jonathan was dropped from ad campaigns and movies. His latest, Magazine Dreams, where he plays a troubled bodybuilder, had been getting Oscar buzz, but it was shelved last month. And Marvel is reportedly waiting for the outcome of the case before making any decision on his future in the Marvel Universe. Sentencing is set for February 6th.
So, Jonathan Majors was convicted of assault. I don't know if it was 2 out of 4 or 1 out of 3, but he got convicted of assault against his former girlfriend, Grace Jabari and shit. He got convicted, man. And we have footage of him running away from the bitch. They said he assaulted her when he pushed her back into the car when he was trying to escape, and she was obviously grabbing his clothing, like trying to hold on to him. And she engaged in a multi-block chasing this man into oncoming traffic, not even cognizant of her own safety, as she ran into oncoming traffic chasing this man who was running for his life and shit. And they still found a way to convict his ass and shit for that, man, for running away from a bitch. And before we get started, I don't want to hear shit from none of you goddamn black women talking about this because a white woman shit. I don't want to hear that bullshit. How the fuck is somebody? I had the same reaction when Tory Lanez got convicted of using another bitch's hand to shoot Megan the horse in the feet in her hoops. None had this reaction now with shit. Like, you gonna see a bunch of sisters talk about like, yeah, see, he shouldn't have been messing with no black woman. And you successful black men always picks a white woman and shit. Well, why the fuck do we do that and shit? Because you don't want to be there when a motherfucker climbing up the ladder and shit. You want him to go up to the ladder and carry your bitch ass up in a basket and shit, and between this fucking front teeth and shit, and carry your ass up to where you think you belong, but you don't want to earn shit or work with a motherfucker and shit. And this nigga got convicted for running away from a bitch. I mean, seriously running away. He was moving out and shit. He was boning out. And this woman still managed to fuck his career up. She still managed to fuck his shit up and destroy it and shit, okay? And if this isn't any indicator of, the rise of the save yourself black man movement, nothing is and shit, okay? You cannot fuck with, and I hate to have to say this, you really cannot fuck with no women over here in the West and shit until we have checks and balances and shit. And I think a lot of you motherfuckers with a bunch of money in your pocket, shitload of coin, need to start looking at these politicians and shit, okay? Just like that governor over there in New York. She the one that's the reason cause all this bullshit with Puff Daddy and all these other motherfuckers. That Governor Uncle or whatever her goddamn name is. Y'all need to start looking at that, man. Somebody need to get out the votes and recall her fucking ass, okay? Because she ain't doing nothing but attacking people, okay? How the fuck a motherfucker get busted for running away from a bitch? There ain't no woman in the world that's gonna tell me this dude was assaulting a woman that he was running the fuck away from. He was boning out, man. He was moving out. All that shit needed was that fucking $6 million man bionic effect over it. It's how fast this nigga was running, like 60 miles an hour. And this white bitch was keeping pace with him because he rich and wealthy and shit. And he has status. And he was recently had around that time had been voted one of the sexiest men in the world. Okay? In the world. And she wasn't gonna lose that shit. You know how it is with women. That scorched earth shit a woman scorn. Well, it's time for men to start getting scorned and shit and saying fuck it. You know, hey, if I'm gonna lose everything, then fuck it all. I'll nuke all the shit. Okay? There's got to be some checks and balances. So this goofy ass bitch just gonna be walking around. I've had enough of that shit. I don't care what color is on it or whatever. I'm just tired of these goofy ass females. You can't allow them in your home enough. You can't cohabitate with them enough. I wouldn't advise nobody to be cohabitating with no money if you got any kind of serious coin on you, or if you just want to live a normal, stress-free life, because they bring chaos and destruction with them. Okay, over here in the West and shit. They have a fucked up sense of entitlement that bewilders the fuck out of me and shit, you know? Bewilders the fuck out of me. I'm bewildered. I'm bewildered. The man, you know, and you had a bunch of detractors, and I want to call you a bunch of, you know, I think it's just left, you know, black people are used as the human shields for, you know, white people fucking with other white people. They're under their respective flags of the left and the right and shit. So be that as it may, I'm gonna call a lot of you bitches that was reporting on this motherfucker, calling him a criminal and an abuser and everything. I want to call y'all racist, okay? Straight up. I'm a straight black man. I look you in your fucking eye, tell you I think you're fucking racist for this shitty ass coverage. This bitch was chasing this motherfucker down the street, not just one block, man. She was chasing his ass for several blocks, like a cop movie from the '70s, man. She was chasing his fucking ass, and now he got convicted and shit. And even though he pulled out Megan Good to, you know, kind of get the black women off of him and shit, it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. Now Megan Good could go back to thotting it up and, you know, plotting her to fuck up the next man's life that she gets involved with. Shit, okay? Maybe she could just come out the closet. Who the fuck knows? I'm so goddamn tired of Hollywood and the shit that surrounds it, all this pseudo political bullshit. It's nothing. It's all a distraction and shit. But hey, I can't lie. I don't know how the fuck you get convicted of assault when you running away from a bitch. Okay, I can look at that fucking footage and shit and see that she's grabbing onto his clothing as he's trying to run away from that bitch. Okay, now you motherfuckers got to start wearing body cams and shit. Okay, everybody's got to start wearing cameras on their ass and NDAs up their ass. Well, who the fuck wants to date under those circumstances? Get yourself a fucking passport, boys.